In today's fast-paced real estate landscape, success demands more than surface-level expertise. It requires insight, adaptability, proven strategies, discipline, and the ability to take risk. The Agent Brew podcast blends candid conversations with wisdom from industry leaders who've walked the path before you. Think of us as your strategic pit stop to fuel your real estate journey. From the crossroads of the world in the heart of Times Square, welcome to the Agent Brew, a podcast that percolates real estate insights. I'm your host, Eric Zollinger of Realty Co. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for tuning in and watching another episode of The Agent Brew, where we explore and navigate a particular agent's journey in the real estate industry. So today we have a real treat for you. We have somebody that has really utilized the coming from another industry into real estate to really crush it. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome to you agent number 2 at SERHANT, Kayla Lee, who is the founder and team lead of the Kayla Lee team at SERHANT. Welcome, Kayla.
Thank you, Eric. And I'm so excited to be here. As you know, I'm a big fan of this podcast, and I'm really, really honored to be your next guest.
Well, thank you for being here. And so let's jump into it. Let us know, what is your elevator pitch and what is your business today?
Yes. So I'm Kayla Lee, the founder of the Kayla Lee team, and I specialize in luxury real estate as well as new development sales. I'm a sales director of many buildings, and we crush it throughout Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. We have a team of 4 right now, and it's being built up a little bit. I've been in the business about 10 years and really looking forward to growth and helping clients navigate New York City's real estate jungle.
I love that. Very concise. So I guess let's go back. Where did you grow up? And does that have a direct influence on your business today?
Yes, certainly. So I grew up in Virginia and then grew up a little bit in Korea, in Seoul. Then I went to elementary school and junior high school in Queens. So I'm a Queens girl. And then I, went to school in New York State, lived in Bay Ridge for a while, then Manhattan. So I think it really shaped me being able to adapt to different areas. I can hang with the Queens folk, the Brooklyn folk, Manhattan people, and it gave me a really wide array of knowledge of different pockets of New York.
Great. So when did you come into real estate and did you have a career before?
Yes. So I was always in the finance/banking world. I used to work at JP Chase, then worked at a hedge fund in enterprise risk. When I took a break to have my kids and just be home with them a little bit while they were like 2, 3 years old, and I wanted to just spend a lot of time, I was living in Long Island City, and I had already been selling and buying my own real estate. I had my real estate license for that reason, just so I could gain knowledge, know the regulations, know the real estate world, and not really meaning to jump into becoming a salesperson. I met a friend and agreed to work with her as her assistant in the Long Island City real estate market. But because I was a local mom, I knew a lot of people, and I just had, really good sales experience from the banking world. It just came together, and then
and organization skills too, right? Because you come from the banking world.
Exactly. So, with just a network and everything, it kind of grew and snowballed really quickly. And the assistant role was not for me. I ended up, becoming a licensed agent, loving it, and jumping into new development sales. And I had purchased a new development condo in Long Island City myself. And I remember thinking, wow, this person gets to sit in this beautiful office in a model home and sell like 100 units. That's unbelievable.
Wow, that's great. Coming from a background of new development where I absolutely love sitting on site, it's not for everyone. And it sounds like you've been able to really mold both worlds into working for you, both resales and new dev. Let's see here. With that, any mentors early on from the real estate industry that you'd like to mention?
Yes, when I first started, I worked with Jennifer Dorfman at Modern Spaces. She did a lot of new development sales. Her son and my son were like besties, they were the same age. And she really gave me a lot of guidance early on and gave me the first chance and opportunity. And I still, talk to her and really appreciate her for all the growth opportunities she's given me. So that was amazing.
Talk about a small world. Jennifer Dorfman, if I'm correct, when I was at Sunshine in 2005, had gone on that next year to sell one of the big new developments that Sunshine was selling in Queens.
Yes,
And from there, she just took
right.
off and just like, I mean, she's really made a whole world for herself there. So what a small world that, um, fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that is her. So, she's amazing and we remain very close friends, but she did give me that initial chance. I did not have a real estate new development background, and I told her, if you let me step in the door, I will crush it. And she actually let me work on the Silver Cup Properties project called the Harrison in Long Island City. And, it was from then that we just crushed it.
Well, you certainly learned from one of the best. So it's great. It's so great to hear her name again. Uh, so from there, I guess, tell us the story of joining Serhant.
Yes. So, I had a team I was working a part of at Modern Spaces, and it was a time where I felt like I kind of hit a ceiling. I wanted to have a little bit more growth, perhaps venture into Manhattan a little, do some higher priced sales. And right then, I had seen an article that Ryan had created a company. And I was always curious about Ryan, but I didn't really know if I wanted to join his team per se, because I was already part of my own team. But the second that it said he opened his own company, it was like a new world. So I knew that could be very interesting for me. And I actually reached out. And within, I think, 20 minutes, Jenna Lee's, the head of new dev, called me and said, we'd love to meet you. Ryan wants to meet you, soon. I think in the next day or two, I went to their original office, which is a townhouse at 155 Duane, and I was thinking, what is this guy going to be like, right? I've heard different things about him and I know him from like his persona from the show. But I was like, he's going to be late. He's going to be arrogant. I get there, we're all masked up, and he was sitting there really early, like 5, 10 minutes earlier. My face was projected onto the brick wall, like in super size format. And it said, like, welcome, Kayla Lee. And it was wild. And I was like, wow, I was very impressed. I shook his hand and said, hi, I'm Kayla. And he's like, we know who you are. um, and he proceeded to do this really like long presentation of why I should join the company. I mean, it was like a slideshow. And I was extremely impressed at how much time and effort he put in. And I feel like it wasn't even it was a no brainer. I was sold. I did speak with, different members of the team. It was very, very small over the next day or two, but then I signed on very quickly, becoming agent number two.
Wow, that's incredible. And look at the company now. And I believe you just signed on. What was that? Agent number.
I think we're now over like 1,300 and we're in multiple states. So,
Yeah, I think it was at the Christmas party. I think it was agent number 1000
yes,
that came in. And
yes.
so it was, full disclosure. Ryan is one of Realty Co's ambassadors, and so we welcome him, being a big cheerleader for us from day one. So we appreciate that, and I have so many friends now at Serhant that are just killing it and crushing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I'm so proud to see that. So Kayla, I guess, what are some of your wins that you're most proud of during your career?
So, one win that I, am really proud of is when Ryan and I pitched Bob Nackel. Bob Nackel, the king of commercial real estate,
The
right?
king of.
I mean, I was always a huge fan of his. And it was a real honor to speak with him and his wife. They had their listing up with Douglas Elliman for, like 4 to 5 months, I believe. And he was saying they did not receive a really good offer. They don't have too many showings, but they really, were stubborn about like they didn't really want to go down in price. And what would we do different? And we just kind of said, we're not going to touch the price. We're going to relist, revamp the marketing, and just redo everything, do strategic outreach, and we are going to sell it for you. I had just sold a unit above them by 4 or 5 floors, and it was a little bit of a difficult building because the ceilings were a little lower than most people want for the Upper East Side. But we had
It was a Maclo project, correct?
Yes, it was 737
Gotcha.
Park, and it was great. But they had these beam ceilings that were a little lower than a lot of the other buildings, and that came up a lot. But we learned to work around that. And within, I think, 36 days, we had a full ask all cash offer, all cash, closing within 30 days.
Wow.
And it was insane. And he was so, so happy. They even wanted like all his furniture. And at first they were like, no, no, no. But then we were saying, listen, you're going to go to a new house and you're going to need to measure and redo everything all over again. And it's a testament to what a good taste your wife has that they want everything in this property. So aside from some special furniture pieces, we did sell them everything, at additional cost, and we closed very quickly, all cash. And Bob was so happy. There was a speaking event for ARIA. ARIA is the Asian, yeah, Asian Real Estate Association, and I'm the VP this year of Manhattan chapter. Next year, I will be the president.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Realty
you.
Co. was one of your sponsors at the gala of the Chinese New Year.
Oh, yes, yes, Lunar New Year, yeah. So thank you for
Yes.
that.
Yes, it was the Lunar New Year gala.
Yes.
So we're always happy to support third party alliances and to support all the agents.
Yeah,
so
that's so great.
well done and good luck, because I know those are a lot of work.
Yes.
And
It is. It's a community-based, it's for AAPI, and we try to, empower sustainable home ownership. But Bob Knackle was a guest speaker at one of our really popular events called East Meets West. We have a lot of
Yes.
commercial real estate. Yes. So we had that event, and he was the guest speaker, and I was, of course, sitting in the first row recording him. And he was like, this is a great crowd today. And in the first row, we have Kayla Lee. She just sold my home when another brokerage couldn't. Thank you so much. You are amazing. And we were in a room full of like 300 people. Everybody was clapping. I was like, oh my gosh, that was just like Bob Knackle fashion, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we love
good
Bob.
guy. All right. So any other wins that you're most pleased about or would like to share?
Another win is we have this, last plot of waterfront property that was formerly the Paragon Paint Factory. And that is being developed in Long Island City. And we pitched it in order to get the most probability of success. It was a collaboration between myself and another rock star agent, Brian Chan from SERHANT. We brought in Ryan, and the whole team went out. We got the business. It's going to be like a 26-story building on the waterfront that was slated for Amazon way back when.
Oh, right.
This is going to be very exciting to launch, and that is coming up, in the next year or so. So we're excited about that because I know a lot of brokerages were gunning for it, and it's one of the final waterfront pieces in prime LIC.
Got it. Well done. So from there, I guess, what would you say is one of your biggest challenges today facing you or other agents?
Yes. So I think despite interest rates, to us, that's become sort of like a standard day-to-day thing. It's no longer something that I can consider a challenge because you just have to roll with the punches.
Absolutely.
But
A market is a market,
exactly,
right?
exactly. You just have to roll with it. But I do think from time to time, it is a little confusing for buyers, sellers, and even renters to understand the most up-to-date news, regulations, changes to regulations because things end up going to a court and then you're arguing back and forth and then you have different updates. So I think educating our clients on a constant basis, educating ourselves so we don't say the wrong thing and we know exactly what's happening in the industry. I think that is a little bit of a challenge. So for our team, we try to bring in experts all the time to our team meetings so that everybody is up to date on different things. So we have attorneys coming and speaking. We have title people coming and speaking, lenders, and that's been very helpful. But it's something that I think we have to always be aware of because we are guiding our clients.
Understood. Understood. So, any particular passions outside of real estate, or are you full steam, 100% real estate all the time?
So I love real estate. I do have an addiction to building businesses. So I have had a luxury cleaning, like residential cleaning service in Tribeca now for over 20 years. I have a partnership in a barbershop in Long Island City, Art of the Barber, and that is doing phenomenal. And we actually do some gift cards to our clients for that. And then I also run a cafe that we opened as my office during COVID because I had nowhere to really sit and do work or meet with clients, and I couldn't run to Soho each time. So we opened up a cafe, had some branding of Kayla Lee team at SERHANT on the windows, and that was so that I had somewhere to sit. And now our coffee's so good, I have nowhere to sit because it's crowded.
It's almost like a Capital One area, right? Like, well, good job for like really, seeing what your needs are, being that entrepreneurial spirit and saying, oh, I'm going to solve this. And you just do it yourself. And then you also solve another need with a coffee shop in your neighborhood. So that's awesome.
Exactly. People love it. And we have like fantastic food from Balthazar. It's just a fabulous little coffee shop. And, a lot of my clients and everybody in LIC who knows my name knows my association with it. They all send me congratulatory messages or pictures of them holding a concept coffee cup. So it's amazing.
I have to go out there and it'll be my goal before summer starts.
Please.
To come out there and actually witness this great cafe.
Yes, you definitely have to come.
From there, let's play the gratitude game. And this is something that we do every week, as you're well aware. It is the rose, thorn, bud, but with a little bit of coffee twist. So the first is the aroma and then the brew. So the aroma, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What's that motivation?
Yes. So for me, I've always throughout my whole life, since I was a kid, always thought to myself, it would be so amazing for someone to love their work because then it wouldn't feel like work. So I always say to my mom, I wonder if like other than Hollywood producers and fashion designers, does anybody like their job? How do all these people just go to a mundane job, sit at their desk and come back home? And it's like a really sad thing. And I love my job and it took many careers and jobs to get here. But now I actually feel like it's a day of something I enjoy. So it doesn't feel like work. It's like, immensely satisfying. And I just love it. So to wake up in the morning, get dressed and come out and help people purchase, sell, rent is such a joy that it's I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, that's what I think is the definition of success. It's when.
Well, you certainly radiate this energy and positivity. I absolutely love it. Because you're making me love my job.
Yes.
Like this is, I never really felt like I've ever had a job.
Right.
But like this is, I love this podcast and I love that you love it too.
Yes.
That, just being able to tell people, like your story, really, inspires others that, what, if you don't have this, why don't you? Because you should.
Yes.
It is possible, right? You and I are both doing what we love.
Yeah.
And so you should be too.
Yeah.
And so tell us about the actual brew. What is your why? What sustains you after having that cup of coffee?
Yeah. So, for me, before anything, it's my family. And I love showing, my kids what it is to work hard and what it is to be successful, but also what's important. So the number one thing we tell our kids is be kind. right? Right now, our family, my son just went to college. I'm very thankful for that. My daughter's in, middle school, and everyone's healthy. So ultimately, I love working, and then I love going home and spending time with my family, and that keeps me going. My husband is now retired, but he is and has always been the wind beneath my wings. He's always supported and just done everything to let me go out and do what I love, whether it's opening that 15th business or closing a new development sale. And without him, I couldn't be doing what I love this much. And I don't think I say it enough to him directly. He probably knows because I'm always, happy. But, I always take every possible moment I can, whether it's like a podcast or a vlog. And I'm always thankful to my husband. He has just been my rock. My mom, my mother-in-law, everybody has just been such a great role model. And I just want to live up to a certain standard and just like, I don't know. It's like, I just, like love the fact that the family unit is there to support me and that I will do everything I can to support them.
Well, and it's a team, right?
Yes.
It's not just, it's not just, one role. It all has to work together
Exactly.
and be not seamless because, so many people say, oh, I need a live-work balance. Well, you know what, if you think of it as, and I get this from Tony Robbins, if you're on a teeter-totter and it's balanced, that's no fun, right? There has to be a give and a take from both sides. And so it's this give and take and things you integrate it. You don't make it balanced
Right.
because balance is not fun.
Right.
So well done for being able to really maneuver and create the best life possible for your whole family.
Yes, thank you.
I guess on the flip side of that, anything that's frustrating because of that, like the thorn from a rose?
I mean, there is, the work-life balance, as you say, there's that softball game that I missed for my daughter, or, something that I wish I could attend that I couldn't. And I try my best to be present whenever I can, but there's always that, did I fail my daughter? Did I fail my son? My kids are, like we spend a lot of time with them. We go away on trips with them. And just, I encourage them to actually journal. But we connect with them on so many ways. If we're busy, then, through texting, FaceTime, we always just try to connect constantly. But there is that worry as a mother of, did I do enough? And so that is sometimes something that drags me down a little bit. And I just always wonder, could I have done more? Should I have put some work to the side and done this? But now as I grow my team, I have such spectacular team members that I'm able to sort of lean on them. They're able to take a pitch for me. They're able to take a showing for me. And so it frees up some of my time. And so this is definitely increasing my work-life balance.
Great. So I guess this all leads us to the fresh beans. What are you most looking forward to? Is there a certain project or exclusive or something big on the horizon?
Yes. So right now, we launched Vesta LIC in Long Island City, a prime neighborhood right in front of Murray Park. And before we launched just 2 weeks ago, we are about 35% sold pre-sale, which is amazing. Yes. And we're breaking all price records. I think we're blending almost at 1,800 a foot for queens. That's extremely high.
For queens?
Yes.
Wow. Great job.
So I'm really looking forward to, finishing off this project and then doing the sister project, which is right next door. It's a loft, same developer, Century Development. They're amazing. So that is what I've been looking forward to, and I will get to that completion. But just as of yesterday, what I was looking forward to was earlier today, I was on Fox News Live, and I did a segment with Bianca, and she interviewed me about Greenpoint, Brooklyn, about Huron, and about the real estate market. And it was live TV, Fox 5, and it was about 3-4 minutes. And of course, I was looking forward to it, but like extremely anxious. So now that that's over, I'm going back to looking forward to my new development sales.
Very good. Very good. Well, it has certainly been so much fun to have you on the Agent Brew. And we've come to my favorite part of every episode. So you've been in the business now like a decade, you said, And so if you could go back to your young agent self, not young agents today,
Right.
if you could give the young Kayla Lee a piece of advice, what would it be?
So I started real estate, late 30s. But if, I'm taking your instruction to be a young agent to myself, it would definitely have to be find a mentor or a team to grow yourself and to learn properly. And of course, you have to find a good match. You have to find the right team leader or the right team. But I think it cannot be said enough that with the right mentor or with the right person to guide you, the sky is the limit. The reason real estate is so great is because it's like there's infinite possibility, right? There's no cap on what you can do. So I think it's so exciting. And I think if you're young and you're just starting out, um, joining a team, even though you have to do some of the brunt work in the beginning, but it's all due diligence. Like you got to just put in the time, the effort, and then you will learn from the best. You will just even without thinking, you're shadowing, listening, and you just learn. And I didn't have that. I actually did everything by myself. I struggled a little, and I think I'm stronger for that. But if I was able to, I would definitely join a team that I can grow with and grow under, and then venture out when I think I'm ready.
I love that. So many people these days talk about, I want a remote job. I don't want to have to go into the office. When I started in 99, I was 25 years old. There were no teams then, but I was an assistant to two top agents. I learned a tremendous amount just being present, just being in, through osmosis, hearing how people talk to clients, hearing what happens, or just, being in that office atmosphere
Absolutely.
is vital and critical, I think, for any industry. So thank you for saying this. And, we've come to the end of the episode where I always like to end with a positive quote. Do you have any positive quotes that you'd like to share?
I do. And it's one that I always say to my kids as well. And it's basically whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. By Henry Ford. I think mentality and attitude set the stage. So I think that comes first.
I love that you shared that with your kids because it happened to be shared with me. My dad always said it, and my uncle. And it's true. It's all about mindset and what you put your mind to. You can achieve no matter how hard it is or how long it takes you.
Absolutely.
Perseverance.
Yes.
So I love that. The one that I came up for you today is by Rockefeller, and it's a group of quotes that he left for his sons. And this one is, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." Again, don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. And
That's powerful.
well done for you, Kayla Lee.
Thank you.
Part of the SERHANT team and the founder and team lead of the Kayla Lee team. Thank you for being part of our podcast, and thank you for being a fan. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
And
thank you for having
we
me.
hope that you'll come back in future seasons.
Yes.
To let us know how you're doing, because we wish you nothing but success. And the fact that you're part of SERHANT, we know that we will be doing some great things together, given that SERHANT is a big cheerleader of RealtyCo. So we look forward to that.
That's amazing. Thank you for having me. This was so enjoyable, and I'm really honored that I'm part of this podcast.
Well, thank you. And to our viewers and listeners, I'm Eric Zollinger from RealtyCo, reminding you that it's a great day for real estate. The Agent Brew podcast is brought to you by RealtyCo. RealtyCo is your partner in real estate, bringing you game-changing benefits and services to empower your business. Visit realtyco.com for more information.